before, but you know, her stories about family and family love mixed in with humor just really resonate with us here in Georgetown, because Georgetown is kind of like a family. And I'm sorry to put you on the spot and make you go first, but somebody's coming later. Well, what can you do? What can you do? I'm making you do it. So please welcome Lisa Nalley and give her a really big hand because she's definitely.
I was not expecting that.
Me either.
Now I gotta get myself together because I was gonna use intermission to get my thoughts in order. First of all, let me tell you that I was here last year and I was 30 pounds heavier than I am now. I may not have $1 million, but I feel like $1 million. What are we going to start with? Wow. When Miss Janet and I talked about a month ago about me doing this again, can I put this up here? Because I talk with my hands. I'll do a little bit better this way. How do we fix this?
I'm just so technically adept.
You are on this one.
It's really hard. Can you just scrunch down? How about that one?
How about this one?
Hey,
That's perfect, right?
thinking outside the box. That's what we do at Television.
So, all right, I want to say really quick, she's right. Georgetown is not Charleston. I've lived there for 5 years after I moved from the upstate, and man, am I thankful for Georgetown. I really am. Don't get me wrong, I love Charleston, but 5 years was enough. It's good to go back and visit, but this whole little area I've fallen in love with. So, and I'm not a coastal girl. I'm a country girl. I'm from the upstate of South Carolina, and well, when we talked about a month ago about this, she said, "Can you take some of your family stories and kind of intertwine it with the Georgetown area and that kind of thing?" And I was like, "Well, sure, I come up with something." Well, I can because we're not from here. So there's nothing I can say that kind of ties us in with Georgetown, except for we are celebrating the 250-year anniversary of the country, and I come from a little town in the upstate, from just a normal American family, and I had a father that was a veteran, and he loved his country, and the whole family loved the country. So maybe I can sort of turn things that way in celebration of our country. So my father was in the Army. He was a medic stationed out of Germany, and he loved his time in the military. And he always used to say that he wishes he would retire in the military. He had regrets about leaving early, but he wanted to get back home. And I think Mom was already expecting my brother, and so he decided to discharge after 8 years and come back home and start the family. But he did love his time, and he took that whole patriotic love of his country, and he held on to it all of his life. He made a lot of good friends in the military, and one really good friend he went through basic training with, that he stayed friends with really for their whole life. And that man meant so much to my father. His name is Anthony Todd Mondale, and he meant so much to my father that my mom and dad's firstborn, my older brother, is Anthony Todd. So he named him after his buddy in the Army. But when I was a kid, I can remember, I was telling them this, one of my first memories of being a child, when we had put up Christmas decorations one year, and we were just putting out lights. And I can remember there was a new thing that Daddy had gotten, and he pulled it out of the box, and it was probably about like this, maybe like that. That's the size that I remember. And when you plugged it in, it was an American flag. And he put that thing in the window, and he was so very proud of it. He was always proud of his flag. So as we grew up, I was a daddy's girl. My brother, as we got older into adults, I was a little more Bob Dylan. My brother's a little more Martha Stewart. So I hung out with my dad a little bit more. So he would do anything, absolutely anything for me. And what's more Americana than the Jerry Lewis telethon, right? We used to watch it all the time. I was obsessed with celebrities when I was a kid, absolutely obsessed with celebrities. So anything that had a celebrity in it, I wanted to watch it. And my daddy would watch whatever was on TV, whatever movies, whatever was on there. He would sit and he would watch TV with me, and he would spend time with me. And so one night we were watching the telethon, and I was probably about 11 years old, and there was a bank of celebrities that were answering the telephone. And I wanted Daddy to call, make a donation so we could talk to a celebrity. He wouldn't do that. He would make a donation every year that it was on, but it'd be $5 or $10, and he would just send it in to the address on the screen. So after he and Mama went to bed, I snuck in a call. And I went all out. I wanted to talk to the biggest celebrity I could, so I thought the more money I donated, they would give me a more famous person. Well, I donated $200. And back then, they didn't run a credit card. They sent you a little envelope in the mail you'd get in a few weeks. And so a couple of weeks later, Dad sent them, they got an envelope in mail. And Dad opened it up and he said, who donated $200 to the Jerry Lewis telethon? I said, well, that was me. And he said, why? I said, well, I wanted to talk to one of those celebrities. And he said, $200? I said, well, yeah, but Dad, I mean, wait till you hear who I talked to. And then I told him. And he said, I've got to send them $200 because you wanted to talk a rerun from What's Happening. But he would do, he paid the money, and I got to talk to rerun, and everything was good. But he would do about anything for me. My dad was very conservative, and the presidential elections were always a big thing in our family, and we would gather at my aunt's house, and we would watch the results come in. And he was always conservative, but I told him one year, I said, look, I said, this Michael Dukakis guy, I said, I like his eyebrows. I said, what you think we vote for him? And so I almost got him to vote Democrat just because I like Michael Dukakis' eyebrows. But we were a very close-knit family. The kids were everything to Mom and Dad when we were growing up. To my aunt, he had a sister I had cousins, and we did everything together. And we did the whole Americana thing of going to the lake and spending all day at the lake, and the sandwiches and the picnics and the watermelons and all that good stuff, just like, just your typical American family would. And we shot fireworks. We shot a lot of fireworks on 4th of July and New Year's. And every year we would do that, and we would do it every year. We knew it was going to happen when we'd set the field on fire. And that happened every year. And not so much even with the fireworks, but my dad was really bad about when he would go outside to burn brush, he would set the woods on fire every time. So our local fire station kind of had a truck that was designated to go to our address. And if they weren't there putting out a fire, they were there shooting one of Mama's cats out of a tree. So that's how you get a cat out of a tree in the country. You can shoot them down with a water hose. They promised that none of them were ever injured. They always landed on their feet. So, anyways, but that's kind of my family, and I just just really proud of the family that I grew up in. Just really proud of I'm just really proud of our country. I know that we're in a mess right now. It seems like a mess, and it just seems like the world's on fire. But I tell you what, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else except right here. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for being American. I'm thankful I can say that, and I'm thankful actually. I came from the upstate. I'm thankful for the upstate, but I'm thankful for this little area right here that I'm able to call home now. So, but thank y'all. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank y'all.